All right, we're back. Another overtime episode, episode 12. Two of these in 2 weeks. We're back to back on this bitch.
Back to back,
Yeah.
baby.
This week, keeping up with our theme of last week of doing these two movie series things, we're capping off the Hills Have Eyes remakes. Yeah, with the Hills Have Eyes 2 from 2007. Came out a year after the first remake. So, this one though is co-written by Wes Craven. You know, the guy who wrote the original, also creator of Nightmare on Elm Street, creator of a bunch of shit. But so shout out to him. I think he wrote it and like his son wrote it. They wrote it together. He didn't direct it though. So, um, this movie starts off I think all right, and then the longer it goes, it just keeps on going. So I'm gonna give this one like a I don't even remember what I gave the first one. I remember I didn't like the first one that much. I'll give this one like a 4.
I give it a 2.
Yeah,
It was something.
it was in fact something. Um,
That's it. See you next time, guys.
yeah, all right, good podcast.
So,
But anyway, so spoiler warning for The Hills Have Eyes 2. Gonna ruin everything about it. So don't be mad at us. So anyway, first off, don't they? Correct me if I'm wrong here, but besides the fact that it's a different character, the beginning of this movie is the exact same as the beginning of the first one, right? Beginning of the first one is the scientists that get killed by the mutants,
yeah,
and
they're all in the
then
hazmat suits.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
this one, the scientists, which it was so similar to the point that I started thinking, I was like, is this supposed to be them saying, hey, remember when the scientists got killed? This is why the army's coming in now. But then, like, it was different things that were happening. It was different, like, people. So, I think that's just how they started the movie again.
I it the story of this movie like doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So it's all like just randomness, right? Like
Mm.
you have these scientists there doing experiments, and the
Yeah.
like general guys there, and you find out later in the movie that like they knew the people were there, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why? How many soldiers did you see with the scientists?
Yeah, no, none.
Just the one
The
guy.
one guy, yeah,
Yeah, and he's the guy who's like the bad guy in every fucking movie. Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
sorry, effed movie. I don't know why I didn't think I couldn't
I
swear.
don't know.
Oh my god.
I was like, what did he say?
So, but like, it was just everyone in this was like trying to get their own sci-fi
This,
special TV
yeah,
show or something.
this was this was like the peak mid 2000s, like everyone's like just roasting each other with every line and like just calling each other retarded and shit the whole time, and it's like what? It's like, you guys know you can have a civil conversation in this movie.
For one guy who was like, "Look,
Oh.
I'm just trying to do the right thing. Let's
Yeah,
think about this." And they were like, "Shut up!"
they
You
call
know?
him they call him the F word at one point. Like
Yeah,
they're like, this is what you get for thinking. But
yeah,
yeah, I like, yeah, he's the one guy who there's like a random light up in the hills, and the sergeant, the guy supposed to know everything, and in charge, is like, let's go in the hills. The guy's like, you sure we should do that? Stand on one leg. Like, he makes him stand on one leg. It's poor, which I was like, the guy did what I thought. I was like, as soon as those guys are gone, I would just start standing normal, like, you know. But then they leave behind that one girl, and I don't know if that was to, like, so someone would be there to watch them, but she didn't do much. Already breaking. But
Well, there was a very weird scene where her and Mickey are walking by, and she like has her arm on his shoulder or elbow or something.
uh huh,
And the guy sees it. And he's like, "You stay here,"
yeah,
and I'm just like, "What?"
I yeah, I don't know. By the way, I saw this. So This movie has nothing to do with the first Hills Have Eyes. So you could watch this movie as like a standalone and it would be fine. I saw that Wes Craven originally wanted to write in that it would be the sister who survived from the first one and how she's dealing with like all this PTSD and shit from then. And she like joins the army to overcome her problems or whatever. And then she finishes boot camp and then they go, "All right, we're going to this desert." And she's like, "No, no." But I think she was filming something else, so they couldn't do that.
That lady's schedule's free. Come on, don't be nice.
She apparently was in Lost. So
Um,
I never watched Lost, so I don't know. Maybe I would have recognized her. But also, I take it back. This movie didn't start off with the scientists. It started off with like I got Halloween 5 flashbacks with just this girl silently screaming, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's another." God, what was the name of that girl in Halloween? Jamie?
it wasn't Julie. I don't remember.
I
But this
yeah
was much gruesomer, much.
yeah
And, ooh, I was sitting here and I was eating. I had chicken parmesan.
okay
And I started the movie. I was like, "Hey, so,
yeah
I'll be a little late." I was like, "Do do do do,"
uh-huh
and I got my extra saucy chicken parmesan. I'm like, "All right, movie start."
yeah
Ooh.
oh yeah
At first, I
yeah
was stoked because there was like a boob. Just
yeah
you saw a boob,
you're
and
like
I was like,
yay
yeah, I was like, all right, all right.
yeah
And then next was just horrible. Oh yeah,
yeah it was hard to hard like so this woman we assume has been held captive by these mutants or whatever you want to call them for God knows how long, to the point where they raped her. So we assume raped her and impregnated her, and now she's giving birth to a little mutant baby, and they are not gentle about it. The baby's like head comes out, and the one guy just grabs it and yanks it all the way to where the umbilical cord and shit like, and I
well,
was
no,
like, what the fuck?
right before that, the lady was having problems like delivering it,
Yeah,
so they just break her leg out of socket,
yeah,
and I was like, holy, like I was
yeah.
like, man, I was like, I'd never do that to you, chicken parm. Like, it was.
Yeah. And then you're like, okay, well, she had the baby. Maybe, now she can have some time to rest. Nope. She gets killed. And it's like, oh, okay, okay. But, how do you feel about the mutants in this movie compared to their look in the first one?
Are we just basing it off looks?
Just off looks, yeah.
I thought they were horrible.
Oh, yeah?
I thought the rock guy was cool
Uh-huh.
the first time you saw him, right?
Nicknamed the Chameleon, apparently.
Well, he can only be a rock though. Like,
He can't really blend in the
yeah,
grass.
I'm a tree, and it's like, no, no, there you are.
Yeah.
But that guy was cool the first time you saw him. The GI Joe guy,
That random fucking G.I. Joe dude, yeah.
and like he changed his outfits throughout the movie. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what? Well, I'm guessing. That was,
Yeah, the first one, one of my complaints about the first one was I felt like the mutants were too like comical, and like I just didn't like the look of them, or whatever. And this one started, I was like, okay, they're it looks like they're taking a little bit more seriously, and they're more sinister in this one. But then very quickly, the first one I could tell the difference between which mutant was which and like who was coming. This one, they just all started to blend together. Besides the rock guy and like that G.I. Joe, they had started like, all right, which one is this one that they're fighting now? Like,
yeah,
and then at one point, yeah, just mutants you haven't seen this whole movie would just pop up so they could add another body to the list.
like the random mole man.
The random mole guy, yeah.
Like you saw him earlier in the movie, but like he was like looking through woods. He was like,
yeah,
yeah.
So,
So
but yeah, I don't. Also, you get which we assume because they never confirm it, but you assume this is what it is. Is there's once again the same fucking shit from the first one. The first one had the little girl mutant who was like friendly to the people and was trying to help them or whatever. This one has a full grown like dude mutant that we assume is the baby from the beginning.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
he's a little touched though.
Yeah, he's a little special one.
He's like a grown ass man, but he has like a little baby doll, like a bunny doll,
Yeah.
like little toys.
And so he's like trying to help the humans this whole time too. And I was like, can they just not come up? Like I almost wanted him to like when he's like, come on this way to help me. Yeah, like, oh, I got you, you know. But no, it was like, whatever happened to him? Did he die? I don't remember what.
I was gonna ask you that question. It doesn't tell you.
Yeah, I think he just you never see him after that point. Which, you know, it's not like he was supposed to be like the main mutant, like the one you saw the most or anything.
Well, in the first one, spoiler for the first one if y'all haven't.
Spoiler for the first one, yeah. We'll spoil probably a couple parts of that.
The good guy mutant. What do you want to call him?
I call them mutants because they're products of like nuclear war or not nuclear war, but like nuclear testing.
So the first one, the good guy mutant, like saves the day.
Uh-huh.
Is like the hero, like at the very end even.
Yeah.
With a huge spoiler, but not really. Like
Nah,
you see
yeah.
it. But this one, he's just like a fucking map, and then
Yeah.
as soon as you're done, and you don't need him, you just kind of throw him in the corner.
Yeah. Which yeah, that's literally all he does. He's like, this way, and then they're like, okay. Which, you know, and then that the one guy wants to like kill him, the dude who's been I don't remember his name. Maybe I wrote it down. He's the one, the Mexican dude.
Chance.
Is that his name? Okay.
Or he had like 3 names. The drill sergeant in this was so annoying.
Yeah.
And like when he was talking to him, you're like, this is a guy who doesn't know what a drill sergeant sounds like. Like,
Yeah.
everyone in this movie was horrible. Like,
Yeah.
I like that one, the black guy. I thought he was amazing.
The one who
He was the best part.
yeah,
He makes it to the end, but doesn't really make it.
Yeah.
You know?
Gets shot in the shoulder, and then the whole time he's
Yeah.
like, ugh, holding his gut, and no one's like,
Yeah.
why are you holding your gut?
Yeah, he's shot in the shoulder. He's holding his gut, and he's like, "You just gotta be. We gotta get out." And then he
Yeah.
just spits up all
Yeah.
the blood.
He's like, don't freak out. Don't freak out. Yeah.
That guy was like, he was rock climbing. He was landing shots. He was fighting people.
He was. He had to save that dude when he tried to jump across the little gap. He had to jump over and save his ass.
Let's okay. Let's not. I'm trying not to use any terms here.
Okay.
The guy, the guy who's like 5'3",
Uh-huh.
is like, I can make it.
Yeah.
Doesn't even come close.
Yeah.
The other guy clears it like easily.
Yeah.
And then like turns around and saves him. And I'm like, just let that dude fall.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I gotta say that port-a-potty scene is like my worst nightmare come to life.
That's all right, I'm gonna open up to you, Tyler.
Oh,
So back in the day, and I don't know why this was a fear of mine, but
it's a weird coming out too.
I had
All
just I had just seen Child's Play, okay, and for some reason, I always imagined me taking a shit and Chucky coming up and stabbing me in the asshole while I was like mid shit, and like I say this and it sounds like a joke. This is not a joke. I thought about this after I saw Child's Play for like 3 months straight. Every time I sat down to take a shit, I was like, this is the one. And Chucky's gonna come up and stab me. And I don't know why I ever thought that, but I did. Because there's no scene in Child's Play where he comes out of a toilet.
No, not one. Yeah.
There's not a single one. I don't think there's a scene in a bathroom in Child's Play.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say there's not a scene in any movie where a guy gets stabbed in the asshole.
Yeah, not even in this one. but I don't. Maybe it's because I think there was that some movie or TV show where a snake came out of the toilet, so I like mixed them together. But I don't know. But I figured I'd share that with you. That was a fear I had when I was like 7 or 8.
I forgot what movie I was watching. But my irrational childhood fear is that we had a basement. but the stairs weren't finished to where if you were standing behind him, you can see through it.
Oh, yeah.
And then in a horror movie, I watched it where a guy was walking down, and someone grabbed his foot.
Yeah. That'll fuck you up.
Yeah, I used to go up those stairs on all fours.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Like this, and I'd go just because I was afraid of it. But
Hey.
yeah, nothing to do with my booty hole.
No.
Or anything,
No.
One's a little bit more embarrassing than the other.
Yeah.
But
That toilet scene, though, yeah.
I was at a really shady. I don't remember if it was like a Huddle House or Waffle House bathroom, or if it was a hotel bathroom. And I sat over the toilet, and a cockroach climbed on my butt. And I jumped up and ran, but it wasn't anything like.
I had there was a dude who used to date my cousin who he talked about the reason he's scared of roaches because he took a shit and like on both cheeks and it hit him, and he was like, oh, and he jumped up, and that's why he never
We
did
got
it.
way off topic.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we'll go back to the porta potty scene. The one soldier goes to take a shit in this porta potty, and a fucking hand reaches out in between, like grabs his leg, and he jumps out, and he's like, no one's like, what? He's like, there's a hand in the shitter, and she's like, what? And she goes in there, and you're like, oh, nothing's gonna happen. And then the hand comes out again, and then a fucking guy comes out, and he's like, ah, like.
How did they get that guy out of that toilet? How did he get in the toilet?
How did he get in there?
So many questions.
Yeah, like, yeah, and then it's like, he has the super comical, where they're like, who did this? And he goes, they're coming, and it pans back up, and they go, who? And then they go, who? And he's fucking dead.
What does it mean? What do you mean?
Yeah. And like it was like that. It's literally they flash down. He's just it was so fucking funny, dude.
He had all these cuts on his body, and they're like, they want him to suffer and to die slowly. And I was like, he was like, they'll be here in about an hour. So I was like, okay, they cut this guy a bunch and put him in the bed and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think infections work that fast.
Yeah, right. That was a really fast.
Yeah, it was like an hour.
But yeah. There's a part. So at the beginning, when all the scientists are running around, the one scientist like goes down into the basement, finds like the one Asian scientist like cut in half. He's like, oh fuck. And then I can't remember if it's him or if it goes to another scientist, but another scientist like turns around, sees a mutant eating the intestines. Okay, now this is what we come to learn later on is the good mutant, because he sees him eating the fucking intestines, and that's not something you see every day. So was this guy gonna react and like was he be sick or mad or scared? No, he turns around, he goes, hi.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And then he tries to have like a full conversation with this guy about like where he's from and all this shit. And then the mutant starts going, run away, but the dude doesn't listen. So he gets fucking axed in the back of the head. And yeah. That just made me mad, is that guy saying hi when he sees dude eating intestines.
This guy's like a random scientist, whatever. Right? He's also the guy who's wearing the Air Forces.
Yeah.
So, is it wrong of me to think that just because he's wearing Air Forces, he would have more of a, I don't want to say like just more knowledge or be more, I don't know. If you're wearing Air Forces, you seem like because that's not like a nerdy thing, right? Unless you're a shoehead or whatever. But
yeah.
Like back then when this movie come out?
07.
So that was like a thing of like, I don't want to say the streets, but you were like the cool guy. So I expected him to be like, oh shit, and like run or something. And he was like, hi, my name's Dr. And I was
it was
and he had the worst. He gets axed from behind. Later on, they find him balled up in between two rocks with his wallet in his head.
Wallet stuffed in his head, yeah. And I was like, why did the mutants? Yeah, I don't know.
They never told you who was doing the mirror thing.
The mirror thing?
Because one of the mutants was up on the rock with
Yeah.
the mirror. and they
They,
just never talk about it.
yeah, they did that. That was in the first movie, but I don't remember if they said who was doing it in the first one either, where the light was out in the hills or whatever. But hey, I saw that the alternative title for The Hills Have Eyes 2 was The Hills Still Have Eyes, and I was like, oh shit, they should have gone with that.
It's I don't know. It's so weird. Like they give these people the mutants these like superpowers, and I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Like this one went beyond it when the chameleon guy had like the 9 foot tongue or whatever. That was
I
like,
was like, what the fuck is that? Yeah.
there's a lot of scenes in this movie that they just try to save money, so they just CGI'd them.
Yeah, there's a lot of points where I was like, oh, this isn't real.
Yeah, like, and it was weird when they did it. It was like
Yeah.
there was one where they were at that like, well, you can find out it's a training camp, but it's
Uh-huh.
Fallujah or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
And he's like super CGI'd, and I'm like, well, everyone else is there.
yeah.
I was like, why did they just put this guy in there?
I don't know.
And then that other guy,
That fucking. So the whole intro of this is them like at this. They're fighting supposedly, and you assume they're in, somewhere in Iraq or something like that. Keep in mind, every time someone shoots, like you see bullets going into the walls and shit, right? Explosions going off. And then, like, this woman comes out and she's like, you killed my babies. And then she, like, rips her vest and it's grenades. And she's like, haha, you're dead. And then it's a training exercise. And I was like, what? This is not what training exercises are like. Like, you don't see... There's no bullets going in the walls and shit.
this guy literally just threw 2 grenades in a room that exploded.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the woman comes walking out of it. Like...
Yeah, and they like later on they try to like explain it away with like, do you want the blanks or the real bullets? And I was like,
Yeah.
hold on, there's pieces of the wall shooting off and all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff.
And then they have a weird part where they talk about, because they call the dude Napoleon the whole time. And they talk about Napoleon. They're like, yeah, he's got a peace bumper sticker talking about like conversation, not conflict or whatever.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And it was like, are they going to try to make a message about like, but then they never really do. So I don't know why they added in the little, once again, that's just so then when the guy could be like, hey, maybe we don't go in the hills. They're like, oh, fucking pussy. You don't want to, fight or anything. And it's like, I'm trying to save you guys. Like, yeah, I don't...
Yeah, they had to make... I'm guessing that was like an ode to the beginning, the first one, where they were like, hey, in the first one, it was like a nerdy cell phone salesman. So this one, we got to have like a wimpy dude that no one cares about.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And they made him like be the hero at the weirdest times, where the guy was like, I want to carry him down. I could do it. And the guy was like, oh,
yeah.
Okay. Like... And he must have pulled that knife out of the sheath like 4 times.
Yeah.
And he go walking with it. And I was like, why'd you ever put it away?
Yeah.
So guess what, bud? You never get to use that knife.
Yeah.
So
It's the first time they ever run into a mutant, it comes from behind, hits one dude in the back, they start shooting at it, immediately kill their sergeant.
yeah.
Immediately kill him. And it's like, okay, well that happened. And then the guy who kills him is real remorseful and he's like, it was an accident, And so you start thinking, you're like, okay, what's this guy's story gonna be? He's gonna be like sad the whole movie, or like gonna have to overcome, like, because then maybe he doesn't want to shoot his gun again because he's scared he's gonna, no, he dies 5 minutes later because someone cuts off the rope that's helping him descend and he just falls down to his death. And it was like, oh, okay.
So here it is.
And then real fast though, before you go with that, the rope thing didn't have anything. I guess it did, because then the guy was like, oh, it was cut. So someone sabotaged it. But it seems like it would have been better if they didn't see that, and then the other guy just thinks that the rope fell apart, because he was already mad at the other guy who tied the rope. But anyway, go ahead with what you were saying.
So they cut the rope, right?
Yeah.
And these 2 people are descending.
Uh-huh.
They had to see the fucking cave. How did they not see
Yeah.
this big hole in the
Yeah.
side of the?
Yeah, because then you see it later when another soldier's trying to escape and he gets his fucking arm cut off, which then I do appreciate the guy waving at him with his
Waving at him with
decapitated.
his
Yeah,
hand.
his, but, and so that's the cave. It's like, how did no one see this big ass hole? Where, like, yeah.
But then again, they give all these people like these superpowers. Like that GI Joe guy was flipping and running
Yeah.
around. Everyone in this movie is the most silent person of the
Yeah.
planet. And like you see these guys and the way they act and respond, they're not subtle, right? It's not
Yeah.
like they're ninjas or anything. They're these, and they're
Yeah,
all
they're
big,
sneaking in, setting fires, stealing guns, like.
and they're all like, none of them. Okay, in the last one, they had the guy with the road spikes, right?
Yeah.
And he was kind of small and lanky to where you could see him being sneaky.
Uh-huh.
This one, everyone was like 7 feet tall,
Giant.
like 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Like all of them were like just like none of them missed any moves.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did this guy like when he goes sliding into that hole?
Yeah.
And then somehow
That was.
he takes the guy's leg and rips him in half.
Yeah, like the one leg you assume he chews off, but then the other leg gets like stuck, so it folds and they pull him in. And yeah.
I was like, just make the Rock give way. You're giving these guys way too much credit. Like,
Yeah. So.
there's just everything in this movie is bad. Like the makeup wasn't good. Like the makeup on the good mutant, you could literally tell was just a thing put on his face.
Yeah.
Here. That was like this, and there was like an eye here.
Like,
And
yeah, it
was
looked like,
"No,
yeah, it looked like Toxic Avenger.
yeah,
But
it did a lot.
keep in mind, Toxic Avenger cost a fraction of what this movie had, so the fact that they look the same.
The other guy, the first one they killed, just had a thing on his head here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I put my arm up, and then I
Yeah.
was wearing a black shirt, so you couldn't tell. I was like,
Yeah.
"Ugh."
Mm.
But so and then like the grandpa or dad or whatever
Yeah.
was just as bad.
Yeah.
He just had stuff added on. That guy's a famous dude. He's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name though. He kind of looks like Arnold, but like not.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's real famous. He's in a bunch of stuff.
That first
Ball.
guy they killed, I didn't. They got me good because it's just the two women like talking about their family or whatever. And then the guy comes out and they're like, "Now!" And it was all a sabotage. They were waiting for it. And,
I'm so glad that these guys represent our U.S. Army.
I think that every time I watch this, I'm like, man, these guys really like. Oh God. Let me go on. Do not disturb. I'm like, these guys really like don't paint a good picture of like the people we're supposed to like hold up, you know. And this is like in the middle of the shit too.
I didn't count, but that first guy they killed, they must have fired 50 shots.
Yeah, and keep in mind, if I remember right, supposedly they only all have one magazine of ammo.
Yeah, it was just 30 rounds each.
Yeah. And one guy
And
wasted like 4 of them just going, "Hey, come get some!"
Yeah.
Like-
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was, there's just so many. These guys don't know a kill shot. They don't know any, like, it's
Yeah.
half the dudes leaving their guns behind. Like, they lose more shit because
Yeah.
they don't keep their stuff than anything I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So,
We talked. I remember when we watched the first one. There's the scene where the one mutant like rapes the older sister or whatever. And I remember being like, "Damn, hope that's the end of the rape." And Bags was like, "I don't think it is." Nope. It was. There was a lot more rape in this movie.
yeah, I felt like they made it, like, longer, more brutal. And,
Yeah.
like, and it was just, I mean, you didn't even have to see that to know it was happening. Right?
Yeah, it was already. I do appreciate though that very clearly when he's raping the girl, she's been stripped of her clothes. But then when they find her later, she has on all her clothes, and I was like, well, at least he put her clothes back on.
He rips all her clothes off.
Yeah,
And then they find her, they're 100% perfect. I was like, oh, well, he sewed and mended her clothes.
yeah,
before.
like, you know, so yeah, but
So, if I'm not mistaken, Like the Napoleon guy and the two girls get away at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, because I have feeling the third one they left it open, right?
They began the movie the same way. They ended it the same way, with someone just like watching them from afar. This one,
Yeah.
obviously, it's like someone with military like surveillance looking shit.
Yeah, but he had like the mutant hands.
Yeah, he's like, God damn it.
Yeah. So supposedly all three of them get away. Now that
Yeah.
lady's carrying that dude's child, maybe.
That's what. Yeah, I was like, okay, there's that whole thing.
So I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So, and then when they killed the dad, so the dad is like fighting,
Yeah.
and she shoots a piece of his head off.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that because it was the back right corner, and she shot him from the front.
Uh huh.
I guess he was like dodge, and just got, but and he kind of like goes haywire for maybe 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And then they get him down on the ground. Guy puts an axe in his arm.
Uh huh.
And then the other lady just smashes his
So-
testicles with a sledgehammer like 4 times.
So I don't remember what movie we led into it where Bags picked Hills Have Eyes. But if you remember it, Maverick tried to say, isn't that the one where, and we were like, no. He says, isn't that the one where someone gets sledgehammered in the dick? And then we watch it, it never happened. And I remember near the end of this movie, I remember being like, oh, Maverick must have just had the complete wrong story. And then wham! I was like, oh shit! Like, I hear sledgehammer to the dick. I'm thinking it's a mutant, like, doing it to a guy. But no, it was the mutant getting his dick sledged. And, yeah, but just pulverized. But it didn't really seem like it did that much damage. The guy was just like, oh.
Yeah, like, your 2 friends are in danger of dying, and the first thing you do is hit a guy in the dick with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Like, I thought she was going to smash his head and be GG,
Yeah.
And because she shot that hole, it would be like a ketchup packet, because they love their gore in these things.
Yeah.
And no, we didn't get that.
No.
So, it was just a like, I don't know. The first one was good because it had variety. Like, all the mutants had, like, cool weapons and shit.
Uh-huh.
And the fights were, like, actually good. Like,
Yeah.
there's literally a mutant in this that gets taken out by a rock.
Yeah, there is. So.
And I feel bad for Napoleon. He gets beat up by the dude comes through the wall, which shout out. They did that in the first one.
They did that in the first one, too. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, We're just using old film now. And he gets, like, clobbered.
Yeah.
And then the lady shoots him in his head. Not Napoleon, but the zombie guy.
Yeah.
And he's charging. And she's like, Napoleon, please get up. And he barely gets up in the nick of time just to be picked up and thrown against the wall again. So he, like, stands up just to be, like, thrown.
Yeah.
But he's 100% okay. Nothing happens to him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks God.
Yeah. There's the one guy who's, like, been the asshole soldier the whole time. Who he's like, let's go this way. The sun's coming out. And then he finds a fucking box of dynamite. And he's like, this is how we're going to get out of here. And then Mia, like, pulls down, like, the lever that's connected to it. And then he goes, oh, fuck. And then blows up. And I was like,
so when you first saw that, did you think it was, like, an elaborate booby trap?
Yeah.
Like, they had it written.
I thought it was some Viet Cong shit.
Yeah, but no. It was like, ooh, they just dropped the thing.
Yeah. But.
That guy would have went zoinks or something. I would have turned the movie off.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have the look at the camera and say "fuck" moment.
He did, yeah.
Bad, but
he did have one line where I was with him, where it's when the Colonel dude shows back up and he's all bloody, and they're like, "How do we get out of here?" And he's like, "I'll show you how." And he like shoots himself or whatever. Then he's dead, and the guy goes, "What the fuck is going on?" And I was like, "That's what I'm wondering." But
it would have been so much better if he like turned his gun. He's like, "You heard the guy."
Movie had a budget of $15 million, which
people waste money on.
Made a box office of $37 million.
This made money.
This did make money.
Like 22 million, if my math isn't wrong.
Something like that, yeah.
I like how you double checking my math.
Listen. But so anyway, hey,
It does have a lot of like beat like all the soldiers are nobodies, right?
yeah,
And they got the cool black guy that we like is the dude who's like the budget. What's his name? The guy from Baby Boy and Fast and Furious, Tyson. You know what I'm talking about? Not Mike Tyson, but the other guy. I don't know his name.
I don't
But
watch Fast and
anyways,
Furious.
you didn't watch Baby Boy either. Such a good movie
No.
with Ving Rhames. Anyways, but like he's good. I think he went on to do other things.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh no, that's a different black guy. But anyways, The House on Haunted Hill, the new one. The
Oh,
guy
yeah.
who's a baseball player. What was that guy's name?
I don't remember.
Good lord.
It's been a while since we watched that movie.
Yeah, it's been. But anyways, best part, worst part.
Best part, worst part, yeah.
So what are you going for?
Hart wants to say best part is the toilet scene, but I'll go ahead and pick the guy waving at the dude before he falls with his chopped off arm, because I got a little chuckle out of me. And then least favorite part, I don't even know. Probably the I don't know. There's too many to choose from.
My favorite part was when the chameleon guy comes from that rock.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't rewatch it because
Uh-huh.
I ran a little late on this one.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he was there the whole time
Uh-huh.
and I didn't see him
Yeah.
or what the deal was. But it was pretty cool how he just like the girl goes to take a piss and you just see the rock move behind her and grab her. And I was like, that's pretty pimp.
Yeah.
But it ended up he just had like really bad scars all over his body and it wasn't
Yeah.
anything important. The worst part of this movie is the mole guy, who
Yeah.
apparently can sniff people out,
Yeah, I guess so. But you can't
but
see.
he can't hear.
Yeah,
Two
something like
soldiers
that.
crawling on the ground backwards.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? And then somehow he finds bullets somewhere
Yeah. Yeah.
because he's like, click, and then they fight. He kills the dude, and then the guy gets a gun, and he's like, just shooting people,
Uh-huh.
no problem. The blind guy
Yeah.
lands 2 shots on a guy.
Yeah.
But, just saying, he's probably the best marksman in the movie.
He's pretty good, yeah.
Well, the colonel. I mean, he fired 1 shot and didn't miss. So.
Hey, so did that other dude that fell off the cliff.
Well, that's what I was talking about, the colonel.
Oh, yeah. But
Good. No, I'm going to change it.
Okay.
I'm going to have 2 worst parts. Since you didn't have one, I'm going to take 2.
all right.
The part where the colonel in the very beginning, and he's like looking, and he's like, where are they? Because he knows they're, kind of what the deal is. And he looks out over the cliff, and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And then he turns around. He's like, where are they? And then he gets stabbed from behind. And it's like,
Yeah.
he just looked there, guys.
Yeah.
Like literally seconds ago. So how did this dude come from wherever? I'm assuming a cave. Climb up without the dude hearing him with this big metal spike that they use later.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on. So it'd be different if you look down and there was like one tree and you could see him like hiding behind it or something. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
You could tell they wanted certain shots.
Yeah.
So they were like, hey, we're just gonna do this. They're like, this isn't believable and doesn't make sense. Is that, hey, I want this. So, and the truck that went into flames instantly,
Yeah.
that was instantly wrecked. And how they like stole the guns from right in front of them without making a noise.
Yeah.
There's so many things like that. It was just stupid.
Yeah. And if like they'll try to be like, well, all the mine shafts, they could come out in different spots and get the stuff. And it's like, yeah, but they had surveyed that whole area.
Well, what a big point in this movie that lost me is that they went off as a unit and the two people stayed behind. Guy comes back, gets killed. So then the two, I guess, go to look for the others.
Yeah.
They're in danger. Well, these people have been rock climbing,
Yeah.
like up ropes, all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
And the next scene, they just walk up like nothing
Yeah, they're
happened.
like, what's going on?
I was like, these people have been marching for like hours, right?
Yeah, like they are far up there.
Yeah, yeah. It was like, hey,
Yeah.
we didn't really like, yeah, we had to turn back, so we ran into them. I was like, no.
Yeah.
But this is probably one of the worst movies I've watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it a 2.
We only do the best for the show. Well, anyway,
I don't know. It's something.
It's something. So, thanks for listening to Hills Have Eyes 2. I think that's about it for that one.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Talk about all the zombies. They didn't have a female zombie in this one in Mutant, which again, I guess the whole premise of this was to get females to make zombies, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense they didn't have any females or whatever. But there's only 5 mutants.
Yeah, maybe 5.
How many were in the original? You had the 2 guys in the RV. You had the guy with the chain around his neck. You had the lady.
You had the broke
guy in the
dude,
wheelchair.
and then you had that one dude in the duster, who was like all crazy. Was that it?
The girl, the good zombie.
Oh yeah, the good one.
I forgot her name, Willow or something.
Good luck.
Willow, Cleo.
I don't know.
Mabel. None of these are probably right.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, but so it's like I don't know. This movie took twice the budget, and they had less.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like because the whole thing they're like, oh well, Wes Craven helped write this one, and it's like Wes Craven just didn't watch the first one, so he just had all these ideas, but no one wanted to be like, oh Wes, we already, and someone's like, no Jim, just let him, just let him write it.
Like, do you think he actually wrote this, or do you think they said, "Hey, can we give you 10 grand and say you helped write this?" And he was like, "Sure."
I don't know. I think his son wrote it, and then he added his name on it to be like, "Oh, we wrote this one together."
Boy, yeah, I wouldn't use Wes then. I would just be like a Craven original.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'd do something fancy like that. But this movie is a hard pass for me unless you like gore and just random violence. But that's the thing. There's not even good violence in this.
No, I think there was better gore in the first one.
And violence, right? Like, the main guy gets captured in the first one.
Yeah.
And it's like a torturous thing. You don't get that in this one. If that army chick would have fought back and, like, escaped and battled their way. And this is going to sound sexist, but if she would have gotten, like, you know, raped or whatever, and then just thrown to the side, you know, butt-ass naked, or, like, rags on.
Yeah.
And then she fought out of the zombies in her rags. And they just killed 1, right? Maybe 2, whatever.
Yeah.
They regrouped. I would have given this movie a much better rating.
It's like, because they make her, like, get all this shit where she's just getting raped and stuff the whole time.
Yep.
And so, but then she really doesn't, like, she has to wait to be rescued to then get in, like, some cheap shots. And it's like, well, this chick's supposed to be, like, this badass soldier. It's like, let her do some fighting back, you know? Like,
yeah, well, the guy in the first one had the motivation to get out because he was rescuing his baby, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the baby's name. But he was like, yeah. He was like, I gotta save my kid. It was a little tiny baby. This lady had the motivation to where she's like, my kid's waiting for me. I can't leave him alone. So, like, she should have been the main character. But then about halfway through filming, they're like, let's make this tall white guy the main character.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
I don't know.
So, it's just a bad movie.
Yeah.
People should be embarrassed they have their name on it. So
yeah.
Like, the poster for the movie is better than the movie.
Yeah. I haven't seen the poster.
It's just some dude dragging someone through the desert, but it's like done real like.
Yeah.
You know that Stained album cover where it's like the head.
Yeah.
It's like blurry. It's like that, but you know.
By the way, 2 Hills Have Eyes movies we've watched now.
Yeah.
No one has had any eye-related, like, death or something yet. Like, no one's gotten, like, an eye plucked out, you know? Like, that just seems natural. That someone
happened in this one.
What?
He picks up the blonde, the chameleon does, and she just slams her thumb into his eye,
Oh, does that
and
happen?
it pops like a pimple. Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember
And
that.
he goes, "Ah, my you bitch!" And he hits her, and then
Oh, does he?
that's when he gets on top of her, and dude hits him with a rock.
I might have checked out by that point.
You specifically named. I can't believe no one's lost an eye, and I was like, "It happened." I was like, "Listen, we're cutting all this."
Yeah.
But
Um,
contradict me. Oh, I get it, because the hills have eyes,
yeah.
so that's why there'd be an eye thing.
That's yeah.
Yeah, but there was an eye thing. Anyways, got egg on your face. Have another drink there, buddy.
I will. All right. Well, hopefully in the next one there's some eye related.
What are we watching?
I don't know.
Bring me down.
I don't know. We got
31, I think, was on the list.
31. Yeah. We still got Return of the Living Dead 3.
Puppet Master 5.
Puppet Master 4.
Well,
only-
4 is just the remake movie. Right?
Is it? I don't remember. I'll have to look.
Yeah. Well, that
Uh,
one's probably not getting reviewed.
yeah. We got we got
I feel like I
Texas
need to say it.
Texas Chainsaw 3, which that one has motherfucking goddamn what's the dude Kim Foray, but I was trying to think of his name in Halloween when he gets killed by Michael Myers and that the fucking he's the trucker.
He's in the third one?
Yeah, he's in the third Texas Chainsaw.
Well, is that the same guy that's in House of a Thousand Corpses?
Yeah,
No.
no, it's Devil's Rejects. He's in.
That was Rejects.
Yeah, same dude.
So,
But anyway, yeah, there'll
Yeah.
be another overtime.
you know what's crazy?
What's up?
Is that the guy in Devil's Reject with that guy
Is the
dude
guy
from the
from-
original
Yeah, Hills
from
Have
Hills
Eyes.
Have Eyes?
Yeah.
That's weird. Oh man, we made it full circle.
Yeah.
We're never getting laid again.
Yeah, so I don't know. There'll be another. We got some movies to cover for overtime. Eventually, we'll look at the OG Hills Have Eyes. I don't know when, but oh yeah. Anyway,
No, I just
Yeah.
this one was so bad it left like a taste in my mouth.
yeah.
Where I was like, It's
Um,
like if you ever go went to like McDonald's to get a double quarter pounder and you get home and you have a fillet of fish. Like I dig.
Yeah.
Like, y'all say what you want. I enjoy a nice fillet of fish, but not when I want a double quarter pounder.
Yeah.
So did you spit that back in
It was a piece of ice that was on my lip.
me?
Picked it back out.
But
Yeah.
that's what Hills Have Eyes is to me.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Fillet of fish.
yeah. Thanks for listening. Hills Have Eyes
Oh, wait.
too.
Like, subscribe,
Yeah.
share. This was brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, brought to you by Off-Brand Bailey's. I don't know what this is called. So anyway,
23 delicious flavors.
yeah. Friday, we got Mandy coming out, so look forward to that. Yeah. All right.
I was just trying to think what else we have coming, but
Yeah.
I mean I don't ever know when stuff's coming out.
Yeah. Trust me, I got it covered.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So Friday, stay tuned for Mandy, and thanks for listening. Hills Have Eyes 2, and we'll see you for whatever other overtime we do. We got a couple that are lined up. So, all right.
See ya.